Good morning. Hi there if you're watching live, and hello if you're watching the replay later. I'm Maddie Harvey of Maddie Harvey Designs. I'm a knitwear designer and knitting teacher. I'm based in Edinburgh, and I love helping knitters develop their creativity and their confidence through my knitting patterns, knitting kits and online events. So this morning I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to show you the start of this video is like a kind of behind the scenes thing, and the second half of the video is a little tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do them in two separate halves. So I'm going to do the behind the scenes bit, and then I'm going to end that live, and then I'm going to start another live to show you the little video tutorial, just to give me a chance to turn my camera around while I'm not on a live. So hopefully that will run a bit more smoothly, and then I'll repost the replay afterwards. I'll do it as two separate things because I know some people are here for the behind the scenes stuff only, and some people are here for the kind of tutorial tips bit only. So that's how I'm going to do it today, just to see how that runs, if that's any smoother. Hopefully it will be. So these weekly Thursday morning videos are called Knits and Cake for Breakfast, and the reason behind that title is before the pandemic I was running a weekly knit night on a Wednesday night, and I would always do some baking, and then on a Thursday morning there would be some leftover baking for me to have for my breakfast. So hence Knits and Cake for Breakfast. So this week I didn't actually do any baking. My other half did some baking. He's very partial to fruitcake, so he took it upon himself to make like a fruitcake loaf. So it's the kind of fruitcake that you need butter on. So he does it with a bag of the mixed fruit. So it's, now where is it? It's this recipe, which is called, they call it brack. And this is the Biro book, and it's basically like a tea loaf. So what you do is you get your fruit, and then you soak it in tea overnight, and then in the morning you just add all the other ingredients, mix it in, shove it in the oven. It's really easy as long as you remember to put the fruit in, and it always comes out. It's just kind of one of these really reliable recipes, and it's quite a nice thing to have. We were away at the weekend, so it was quite a nice thing to take away with us. If you're going out for day trips or something, it works well sliced up and put in a packed lunch. So it's a good one to do when you're doing that kind of thing. So there's still a wee bit left, which is nice. So I didn't actually do any baking this week, which was really good. So that's what I'm having for my breakfast this morning, is a piece of fruitcake, and I've got my cup of coffee, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been working on this week. And I was having a hunt around to see if I could find a sample of a shawl design that I'm trying to rework. So the shawl is called Bindwood, which is an alternative name for ivy, and it was a pattern that was published in Knit Now magazine a few years ago. And just a kind of 100 grams of full ply kind of a shawl, and I wanted to rework it to use the little lace motif in it and do something else with it, and I couldn't find, I was looking for my sample shawl that was in the magazine and I couldn't find it. I know it's somewhere in the house, so I'll have to have a proper look later, and maybe I'll post it somewhere on social media. So I've been having a little swatch, so I'll just show you. No, it's this way around. So so it's got this, it's kind of like a rib pattern, because it's got, this is stocking stitch and then this is reverse stocking stitch, and it has a little lace which almost looks like clover because it's got these three yarn overs. So I was having a little play about with the positioning of the decreases, to see if I could make it have a different sort of rhythm to the way that the yarn overs and the decreases go, so that was a kind of twisty effect rather than each one being the same each time. It's very hard to explain, but it's basically about making a flow in there. And then I wanted to pair it up with some mohair. So I just basically grabbed random colours and I started doing a bit of striping here. So I'm just playing about with it. I've ripped stuff out. Sometimes I just take it off the needles and don't even cast it off. I'm just playing about with it at the moment. But what I did do that I've got out to show you is my sketchbook. So this is something I started doing recently. I would always sketch before, but what I've started doing is just putting a timer on for 10 minutes and then just drawing ideas and not kind of dismissing anything. So trying to use the little lace motif, but trying to come up with different ways of using it. So this one was a triangular version with an edge on it. What else have we got? A kind of stepped version with alternating the lace and stripes. This is similar but without the steps. Yeah, so various little ideas of how I could use the lace motif with some stripes of mohair in between. So I'm just kind of swatching some of those things and then hopefully I'll kind of resolve which one of these versions I like. So that's something I've been playing about with this week. As I say, it's based on a previous design, so I want to retain that lace element but just do something a bit different with it. And then the other thing that I've been doing this week is I cast on, just folding over the pattern, for a Bambara shawl, which is a pattern I did with Whistlebear. I think 2 years ago, might be 3 years ago, no, 2 years ago. And so it's knitted in two types of yarn from Whistlebear. So it uses some of their Cheviot Marsh 4-ply and some of their Yevering Bell. And I've just done the first kind of repeat of the two patterns. So it's got this slip stitch cable pattern here, and then it's got a kind of garter stripe in with the stocking stitch, and I'm just on the increase. So it's a trapezium shape, which is like a rectangle, or like a parallelogram, which is like this, but a trapezium's like that. So it's longer along the top, and then it's got diagonals at the side, and then along the bottom is not as wide as the top. So it's a good shape for a shawl because it sits nicely on your shoulders. Yeah, and I'm kind of making little notes about the pattern as I go, because what I find is my style of pattern writing doesn't change hugely, but there are little things that the more patterns you write, the more you refine the way that you like to do it. So I'm making little notes, and I'll probably, when I've finished that, I'll probably do an update to that pattern just to make it more in line with my more recent patterns. Yeah, so that's what I've been working on this week, and obviously I've been getting things sort of finalised for the first clue coming out of the Mystery Knit Along, which comes out tomorrow morning. Just finishing off a final little check through from my technical editor, and I need to record the little intros for the video tutorials that go along. So I see lots of people have got their yarn already wound up, and it's not too late to join us. It's a Mystery Knit Along. 4 clues, 4 parts of the pattern come out every Friday, and starting tomorrow, which is the 7th of May, and you can get an early bird price on the pattern if you sign up to my mailing list before midnight tomorrow. So you can do that via the website, which is maddieharveydesigns.com, and come and join the Facebook group. There's lots of lovely sharing of yarn, and I'm expecting a lot of chat tomorrow when the first clue lands. and hopefully some pictures. People will go and visit some triangulation pillars or something in their local area like that they could post a picture of. That would be great too. So I'm going to stop this live now. If you've just joined, this is my weekly Thursday morning video, but today I'm doing it in 2 halves. So I've just done the sort of behind the scenes bit, which there'll always be a replay later. And I'm gonna stop, and then I'm gonna start another live video, and I'm gonna do a little tutorial which is showing you how to do an I-cord corner cast on. So I'm gonna turn my camera around to overhead position so that you can see that. So I'll see you for that in about a minute. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.